Piano-Play-It.com.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another free piano lesson by Piano-Play-It.com. This is David here, and today we're going to talk about music accents. Now, what do we mean when we talk about music accents? Now, some of you find my accent strange or weird or funny, and why is that? Maybe because of the way I roll my R, or maybe because of the way I make some vowels harder or clearer. Maybe you're used to hear them in a different place. So, when you hear me, you recognize my own accent, my weird or funny accent, because of the place I choose to make my vowels harder or stranger, or the way I choose to articulate my vowels. So we're going to learn in this piano lesson over different ways to articulate or to make some vowels harder. That's what this lesson is about, so you can have your own voice, your own accent, your own expression. Now let's start talking about rhythmical accent. When we spoke previously about the 4 quarters time signature, we said that the first beat of all 4 beats is the most accented by nature. That's why you have a bar line after every 4 beats. In 4 quarters, the first beat is the most accented, and therefore there is a bar line before. In 3 quarters time signature, you get a most accented beat after every 3 quarters. Now, it doesn't mean you have to play it louder than the other beats, it just means that the first beat of every bar is more accented by nature. So, when you play on the beat, you play more accented than off the beat. You get an on beat and an off beat. So you usually recognize the on beat as louder and more accented than the off beat. So the off beats will be more like passing notes. Now let's make the difference between classical world and the jazz world, and by understanding that you will understand the concept of rhythm, of rhythmical accents. So in classical music, as I taught you, the first beat and the third beat are more accented than the second beat and the fourth beat. If we'll take the military march, for example, we'll hear it very clearly. We'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you hear the first beat and the third beat are more accented. How is that different in jazz music? If in the classical music the first beat and the third beat were more important, in jazz music the second beat and the fourth beat are more important. It doesn't mean the first beat is not accented, it is naturally more accented, but you accent more the second beat and the fourth beat. Reggae is the perfect example for accenting the second beat and the fourth beat. Let's play One Love by Bob Marley, for example, and we'll hear the perfect example for how the second beat and the fourth beat are more accented. 1, 2, 1 love, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1 heart, 2, 3, 4. Let's stay together and feel alright. Now I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's stay together and feel alright. You see how my body moves forward in the second beat and the fourth beat? That gives a very groovy feeling, and that's what makes jazz and pop so special and different than the classical world. That's about the rhythmical accent. Another way to make a note more accented is by making a note higher. That's called a melodic accent. So when you hear me saying a melodic accent, you hear me expressing the vowel la higher. I make the sound higher when I say higher, and that makes the note more accented. So I could take a phrase high and the pickup will be in the highest note. So this one was very expressive. Higher notes are more expressive, and when you perform jumps, because now I played small steps and suddenly I performed a jump higher. Okay, now let's talk about a few music accents that has to do with articulation. The first one is the horizontal sign. The horizontal sign is what most people refer to as an accent sign. When you see an accent sign above or under a note, you should simply play that note louder. So instead of playing C, you should fall quickly to the key and play C. The vertical accent means that you have to play even louder than the horizontal accent. You'll see it less consistently, it is more special when you have it, and you have to play shorter than the horizontal accent, so it has more attack, something like this. So instead of tum, like the horizontal accent, you'll play pam. Two other musical accents that we already covered were the staccato, that you have to play short and having breaks between the sounds, so F, break, E. You have to play very short and you have to raise your wrist up. Remember, we spoke about that in the musical phrasings lesson. And staccatissimo means you have to play even shorter in order to create more attack between the notes. This is shorter than this. So it's like tam instead of tam. Okay? And when you play the vertical accent, you play it with more attack. Tam. That's the difference between staccatissimo and the vertical accent, for example. Okay guys, so I'm gonna quit this piano tutorial in here. If you wanna learn more about music accents, all you have to do is click on the link on the right or below, depends on where you're watching, and you'll find there a link that will direct you to the full piano lesson with some extra piano sheets that discusses the musical accents signs. I hope you'll go to my website and visit the full piano lesson, and if not, I'll see you in the next piano tutorial or in the next piano lesson. Until then, bye guys. Piano-Play-It.com Piano-Play-It.com